Hello YouTube, it's P. Diddy here. Just got one big thing I've had on my mind, and I'd like to hear what you all have to say about it. It's, could the Trans-Pacific Partnership open Japan up to increase levels of illicit drug trafficking? I think so. And what makes me think this is, with Japan entering a free trade agreement that basically loosens regulations on inspecting goods coming into the country, because the trade agreement has codified the way in which goods are inspected to make it easier for the goods to come into the country. And Japan has very strict rules for shipments into its country. And with third world nations that are heavy drug producers getting basically free reign to bring whatever they want in the country without inspection, Japan has to really be aware and beware of a huge volume of drugs headed their way. I went to Japan last October, and I was really struck by the difference between their culture and ours. One major difference was there seemed to be no drug addicts. And, what caused a lot of the drug use in the United States was the counterculture, which Japan didn't really have much of, and our involvement in Vietnam, which is the Golden Crescent, which is where much of the heroin is produced and poppies are produced in the Western world. If it wasn't for our counterculture, there wouldn't be much of a demand for the drugs. But where there's a supply, people will find a way to make a demand. And now that Japan is going to have these free trade agreements with countries like Mexico, Peru, massive cocaine producing countries, Vietnam, heroin, Canada, a massive weed producing country, Australia, New Zealand, if you're not aware of this, Britain is one of the biggest pushers of opium on the planet. And that's 3 countries that are part of their Commonwealth: Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Canada, the land of pot. Either way, Japan has something to worry about. Their economy has been so strong and been able to be so resilient. I'm talking about the middle class. Maybe they don't have the most billionaires, but their middle class is the 3rd richest on the planet. And you add drugs to that equation, you start, if 2% of their population gets addicted to heroin, that's a big hit. That's a lot of increased crime. That's a lot of money lost in productivity, because almost every Japanese person is an extremely productive member of their society. And it takes a huge moral hit on the freaking country. So I really hope the people in Japan are aware that they're in danger of being flooded with large amounts of drugs from all over the world. So please look into this. I see a big parallel between the NAFTA agreement between Canada, United States, and Mexico, which caused a massive uptick in our drug imports, illegal drug imports in the United States, and the TPP. The TPP, when you open up borders like that, you make it almost impossible to inspect everything that comes in from 12 different countries that basically have more rights to just force their stuff on you than you have to say, no, don't bring it in. Well, then you're basically just forced to take your medicine, like literally. I'm sorry to say it like that, but Japan might be forced to take their medicine with this, and it, I hope they're ready for what we went through, 'cause it wasn't good. All right.